What is it that makes a game worthy of a remake? Is it popularity, total sales, persistent community requests, lack of ideas? I'm really unsure as to what actually gains a remake. I mean, just recently we saw Until Dawn getting a remake. So, as you can obviously tell with the background footage, that yes, this is a video wondering if Parasite Eve deserves a remake, but also, is that something we should really be asking for? I would say Parasite Eve has the highest likelihood of actually becoming a remake, mainly due to the recent surge of survival horror games getting remakes, mainly due to Capcom with the Resident Evil series. And as we've just seen with Silent Hill 2 getting a remake, Dead Space got a remake. It's only a matter of time before we see Parasite Eve up there. It did hit the greatest hits for the PS1 era, so it was widely popular, not just in America, obviously in Japan as well. But as of recently, it dawned on me after seeing the Silent Hill 2 gameplay trailer that we got at State of Play that I'm actually worried about getting one. And it's not just Silent Hill 2 remake. We've also seen it with Resident Evil 2 remake. We've seen it with Resident Evil 3 remake. There's this constant trend of leaning towards a more over-the-shoulder, action-oriented horror remake of these past games. I mean, clearly for Capcom, it's working. And at the end of the day, it's Resident Evil. This is the same series we're seeing Chris Redfield punch like 1,000-ton boulder into lava. Like, action and the wackiness of everything is like in the DNA of Resident Evil. So it's kind of par for the course. I wouldn't say they changed direction. They just lean more into the style of gameplay they've been doing with their later entries. But now we're seeing this in Silent Hill 2. Unfortunately, Konami could not stop stepping on their own toes and just trying to like follow trends with what Capcom's doing. Clearly they had success with it, so looking at that, they're like, well, we can do it too. Kind of sucks, I won't lie. Now, I will say, like, I'm still relatively new to the Silent Hill franchise. It was probably one of the scariest games I've ever seen. My fondest memories of this game is just watching my father play them. I never actually had the courage to play them myself, even as I got older. But I do remember the eerie fog, the atmosphere, the fixed camera angles coupled with the tank controls, which all those things put together made the entire experience very terrifying to play. Even as of right now, it's still pretty haunting to me. But now looking at what Konami is doing with that, I'm thinking, what's gonna happen of Parasite Eve? Now, Parasite Eve was made by Square, which is Square Enix now. And currently, Final Fantasy VII Remake is kind of on the top right now. As expected, it is Final Fantasy. They did make changes to the game. I think the changes are great. It gives new players to the series, or even old fans of the series, a fresh new take on Final Fantasy VII, especially in its combat systems. And if it feels good, I can't really complain. But it makes you think, how much of like the core identity of these classic games are we okay with parting with in order to appeal to a modern approach to games? But now looking at what we have today, I'm just like, would we be better with just a remaster? Just to fix some of the old issues, rebalance certain things, give it a like decent coat of paint on it to make it look better, and then ship it. I'm not here to say remakes are a bad thing. They're not. They can be done right. They can be done well. It's just looking at the market as of right now, what's selling, the direction as to where these classic games are going, especially with Square Enix, kind of following down a more action-oriented gameplay style. Looking at Final Fantasy 15, Final Fantasy 16, we got this new Final Fantasy 7 remake. It's clear that they would probably go down the same direction. The problem I'm having with current remakes on games is that they aren't necessarily improving on what was once there, but simply gutting out key aspects of what made those games special to begin with. While that necessarily might not be a bad thing, especially for those who never got a chance to play the older versions or people who are new to games, the disappointing part is that it feels like studios who have the task of handling a remake seem to just like not acknowledge the artistic choices made by the past developers, choices that I feel that got lost with time. At times it feels like a remaster would much better serve in preserving these classic games we constantly ask for remakes, but as of right now, I'm pretty unsure if the series will ever see a revival, as we don't have any confirmation or leaks that say otherwise, but who knows. We'll just have to wait and see, like we have been for many, many years. Hopefully, not too much more to come, but we'll see. Anyways, I'm eager to hear your views on this take. What do you believe makes a game truly deserving of a second life? What are some games you would like to see in the future get a remake? Let me know in the comments down below. And with that being said, see you in the next one.